Hey everyone, it's MeraMangle and welcome to another Mangle Morning. Today we are breaking down the futuristic, space-aged Canada All-Stars promos that dropped. This is an all-star cast with a questionable theme, and I decided to, in solidarity, whip out one of my earliest drag looks that definitely fits the prompt. And also, we're going to talk about Stop That Train, my reaction to seeing the movie, my review. I'm going to, of course, cover All-Stars 11 per usual. We kicked off the purple bracket, but I'm going to do that in the next video, just so that there's enough time dedicated to both. So make sure you subscribe so that you see when that video drops. You never know when the video might drop. But today, we are getting into our Canada All-Stars and our Stop That Train. But before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join the Patreon where you can see all kinds of additional content you can't see on YouTube unless you're helping support the channel. Now, you can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo or Cash App like Sean D, who said, "For my favorite Drag Race content creator, lunch is on me." Thank you, Sean. That's very sweet. And then Corey W also came through and said, "Love your videos." Thank you, Corey. I appreciate y'all. Now, of course, you can also tip using the YouTube thanks, and we'll go over some of those at the end of the video. Before we get into the Canada All-Star promos, I wanted to talk about Stop That Train. I did a review on my Patreon. It was a little bit longer, a little bit more free thought right after seeing the movie on Thursday. So if you want to see more thoughts, watch that live. And it's the Meet the Queens for Canada vs. the World, my live reaction to watching that. I will say I was pleasantly surprised with the movie, especially the first, I would say, hour to 45 minutes. It was really hilarious. I mean, you know, not every joke works, but there was quite a few that made me laugh. I was laughing throughout. To me, the funniest character out of all of them was Chris Parnell, the train conductor, named Davenport, who unfortunately does go out. You know, no spoilers, but, you know, they're not as prominent in the movie after about the first 30 minutes or so. But every single line they did deliver while they were in the movie made me literally laugh out loud, harder than anyone else. It's been framed as Juju and Ginger being the leads along with RuPaul, but RuPaul does not show up into this movie until at least 40 minutes or so. Like, it is truly Juju and Ginger's movie. And they carry it. They do a great job. Juju's able to also be really funny. She plays kind of that dumb character. That can get tired quick, but she was able to have levels, and I was really impressed. She also has a love interest, which is the co-conductor. Yeah, co-conductor is the right term. And he was actually really funny, too. And they were funny together, funny separate. All his lines were delivered just so stupid, but so perfect. And they were cute together. Latrice also had a reoccurring bit that was a surprise, where she's popping up in different ways that was really funny each time to see her pop up that way. And at the end, as it's going on, you're like looking forward to the next time she's going to, which was really, really, really cute. And then Brooklyn, along with Marcia and Symone, but, you know, there's little spoilers, because the other two girls aren't true villains the way that Brooklyn is. Brooklyn is the true villain antagonist of this movie. But she does a great job. She really does. The first, like, hour to 45 minutes were really funny. The back half of it is trying to still be funny, but the jokes don't work as much. And it's also trying to be, like, action, drama. Oh my god, the train is... Like, it gets serious to an extent. I still would recommend it overall. The thing about this movie is, if there's a scene that doesn't work for you, it keeps moving, like, quickly. You don't ever feel like you're stuck somewhere for too long. The closest thing I could compare it to is a version of Airplane on a train, but with drag queens. Also, what's funny to me is it's very To Wong Foo coded, where we never acknowledge that these are... Actually, it's even more out there, because at least in To Wong Foo, it's implied that they're... No, actually in To Wong Foo at the beginning, the very opening scene, you get to see Patrick Swayze get into drag. In this movie, we don't ever see any of the queens out of drag. It's almost implied that this is just what they look like all the time, that these are just women, which some of them just happen to have deep voices and broad shoulders. But I just thought that was funny, because it made me nostalgic for To Wong Foo, the way we just act like these are just women who are at work, sir. But yeah, if you saw Stop That Train, what are your thoughts? Are you surprised? I'm surprised that it was as good as it was, truly, to be honest. Like, I did not expect, especially that first solid 45 minutes, being just so consistently funny and easy to watch. Getting into the Canada All-Stars, the day that I dropped my tribute to the Beaver, my Pride tribute to the Beaver video, like an hour later, they posted they have a big announcement for us. Coincidence? Probably. Maybe they saw the love for the Beaver, and the Beaver granted us early access to All Stars. This promo theme is interesting. It reminded me immediately of the one that they did for Canada vs. the World 2. That was a wrestler theme, but it also had this like neon type of vibe. I guess the closest one is actually to is Holland Season 2. It's definitely giving like futuristic superhero, maybe even potentially video game. The individual looks as a group were definitely a little bit disappointing, but also I didn't love the theme. But a lot of the girls, I don't think that they really went there for the theme either, you know, so it's a little bit of everything. Last year, or earlier this year, Canada Season 6's circus theme that was so well executed and so tasteful just doesn't have that level of thought, it doesn't feel like, put into it. Especially the girls' looks. The majority of them did not give that level of thought. And just the whole set itself, it was cute, it was serviceable, but it just didn't have that epic special feeling that I wanted. Because this is an All-Stars 2 level cast. You know, like this is a top tier cast for Canada All-Stars Season 1. It's very exciting. It's also very exciting, and I was a little bit disappointed as well that we didn't get a judges promo. Most franchises, you know, there's always a RuPaul promo or a judges lineup promo. Canada did it for years, and it was just, Season 6 or 5? They stopped. They didn't do one for 5 or 6. So for some reason, they stopped doing it for Brooklyn, Tracy, and whoever's there at whatever given point, Brad. But because this is our first ever all-queen panel for the judges, I wish they would have done it, and it's All-Stars. Because you know that would have been a fierce picture. Something you could frame and hang on the wall. But they have already teased that, of course. We already knew that was happening, and I'm very excited for that. But when Juicebox brought up that her Season 1 sisters are going to be judging her, I was like, oh, that is wild. I actually do like the group image, especially the way they're all placed. I mean, Pythia got the Angeria spot, where she looks like it's her show she's hosting. Angeria had on All Stars 9. Like, she looked like she was RuPaul. She was the god. She was the star. And she won. Maybe it's good foreshadowing for Pythia. The 2 early outs were on each side of her on the low platforms up high. Just stood out to me that they were the 2 early outs. Also, the other thing, before we get into these individual ones, because I don't want to harp on it too much to feel like I'm calling girls out, but like, I probably still will bring it up. But a lot of the girls that I love and I'm most excited for in this cast, like their energy that they gave for the video, I was like, ooh, I like you, but I don't like you in this video. Like, who is this? What are you putting on? Like, a lot of girls were putting on this, like, mean girl, like, you know, bitchy, sexy kind of voice and doing that and, like, giving that kind of energy the whole Meet the Queens. And I was like, ugh, can you drop that? Can you just talk to us? It's always interesting to me how polarizing the Meet the Queens can be. And this is a good example of one where, man, like, some of the people that I'm most excited for, I just could not stand in their Meet the Queens. And I know I like them. And up first, Aurora Matrix. I'm very excited that Aurora's coming back, but I did not like her presentation in the Meet the Queens. I do like her look. Being that it's all black, comparative to some of the other ones that do stand out more, like, she kind of ended up falling right in the middle with the look. But it is good. I love the shoulder structure. She looks great. She would probably be my number 1 that I was most excited for. She's a strong player. Up next, the big surprise, if you didn't watch our rumored videos, Jackie Cox from Season 12 of US RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, okay, I guess first I'll talk about her being on before I talk about this look. I don't think it should be that controversial. I was surprised that there were people that were saying that she shouldn't be there. I think it's a fun twist. I think it's smart. She is a Canadian citizen. It makes sense. She's participated on Drag Race, so she is eligible to be on an All-Stars. So why not? And she was really talking about how she's going to bring the comedy, show Canada what comedy queens are and all that. And I was like, well, that's good because you're not showing them a look, girl. Definitely, I'm not hopeful for the runways based on this look. This, man, it might be too early to call this, but because there are some others that I'm not crazy about. However, nothing made me as upset as this belt, midsection, sad, wide, breasts together. This is I think by far the worst. And even the stuff that's done to the look, like the little mirrors that were put on it and all that, they didn't elevate the look. It just made it look even cheaper and tackier. Nothing fits right or sits right. It doesn't feel like she had it. There's just no way that this was a garment that she had fittings for, you know. It's not a strong introduction. And her cape was so sad. And her little gun that she had was cute. It was the cutest part. Although she didn't know how to, like, actually sell it. She's kind of like gun but armed like this, you know, like just that's not her actual vibe. We have enough problems here in the US. We don't need Jackie Cox going and making us all look stupid. So maybe in that way I could see why maybe some folks are upset. Maybe it's just like, oh, Jackie, we don't need this. We have enough going on here. But maybe she will do what she said and she'll really bring the comedy to Canada. I thought that was kind of a bold thing to say. Although, I mean, I can understand why she would say it because Canada doesn't focus on comedy challenges quite as heavy as most franchises. Next, one of the best surprises, in terms of the look especially, Jada Shada Hudson. Now, I will say the full body image of it, what happens with the heel and the leg pieces, it doesn't look as cool. It needs like a silver boot with it versus like that pump. The pump kind of takes it out of the fantasy. However, the detail in this look was next level. This was just one of the best to look at as she just sat there and talked the whole time. Because, I mean, it's so detailed. She even had the pieces in the hair and looked really great. One of the top looks for sure. Her runways weren't that exciting back on her season. And just in general, I liked her, but I wasn't as excited as I was about Makayla, Aurora, Nearah. I'm more excited for her, so it's balancing out a little bit, and it's feeling like even stronger competition than what I had anticipated. Next is Boxx, one of our early out girls. I think I'm the only first out, because I don't think Tiffany Ann Co was first out. I feel like she might be second out. And Boxx has got a cute rave look on. Her shape is not great. You know, she has a great body, and she talked about how big her arms are and all that. Even though I feel like this look is a little casual, and could be more epic and could feel more like an event. It has a lot of character and personality to it that a lot of the queens necessarily weren't able to bring to this promo theme. Up next is Makayla Couture. There's something about this look that I really love. This wraparound shoulder gives me Fifth Element, and the hair honestly gives me a little Fifth Element vibes. Yet she made it her own. And I kind of like that she did something that's almost like she's going to the office, because it's like very businesswoman length. I thought it was really effective, and it looked great on camera. The hair did too. And I didn't even realize until I saw the promo image that she had these shoes on. That's crazy. And I think that adds a lot to the full look. I think this is one of the best looks, probably like top 2, top 3 looks for sure. Next is Nearah Nuff, the lip sync assassin. I love how in her video she was like, I am the lip sync assassin of Canada's Drag Race, period. Not just of season 4, of all time. We've got so many girls that made it to the very end in this cast, and it's not going to be possible for them all to do it again. So somebody that's placed really far on their season is going to have to be an early out in this cast. At least 1 or 2. So it's going to be a stiff competition. Ooh, crotch. I love Nearah, and I like elements of this look. I really loved her shoulder armor, the silver armor piece. Like, it just looks so good. And then she had one leg in the same armor. Those pieces were incredible. The chin strap thing, I don't think it actually added value to her look, and I felt like it was unnecessary. The cape out of this chainmail, the way it's placed, I'm not sure if I understand, because it kind of looks like it's cut up in not a cute way. I think the bodysuit was effective and it looks great in this picture. But yeah, that chin strap and then that cape. The cape especially, I feel like just doesn't match the rest of the look. Next, another finalist and one of the strongest, and actually a third timer, Pythia, runner-up on season 2. She came, I mean, we know she's going to come ready with the looks. But she said, oh, you want some sort of cosplay theme? I got you. Because this is like full-on cosplay fantasy. And this looks so good, you know, in the video. It was really, I mean, it was perfect. And that's what we expect from her. That's what she always delivers. This is probably the best look head to toe. It's probably the best one. I doubt there'll be one that comes up later that's better. You can see that I don't remember. But man, yeah, if she comes ready to be able to really perform and lip sync, she'll be the girl. She will be the girl. you know. I mean, her runways are just absolutely incredible both times. This being her third time back, and I think she's the only girl in this whole lineup that it's her third time. She joins Lynn and Jimbo to be the only other Canadian queens to be 3-timers. Jimbo and Lynn have both won, so that could bode well for her. And Jimbo's judging her. I'm very curious to see if she's able to get that redemption and overcome the performance obstacle. But man, we know we're going to eat good with the runways with Pythia there. Next is Sami Landri. Jackie Cox said the girls don't know how to do comedy. I raise you Sami Landri. It's very funny. And I liked Sami's video. She's able to be really personable. Actually, I didn't mention with Makayla's video. I loved Makayla's video. Makayla was so refreshing that she was just like, look, here's where I'm at, here's what's going to happen. Pythia was the same way. Hey, this is me, here's what we're going to do. And Jada was pretty good too. Sami's look is so weird. And of course, that's how Sami would come like that. And it's one of those things where when I first saw it, I didn't like it. But then as she was moving around in it in the video, the longer I looked at it, the more I was like, this is actually kind of cool. The oversized boot cover, the oversized arm cover, the butthole, like, headpiece. I kind of ended up living for it towards the end. But also, I just love looks that make me think like that, where I cannot figure out if I like it or not, that I have to keep looking at it. That's exciting to me. And Sami, Sami is one of those girls that, early on in her season, wasn't living for her runways, but it's truly like they were getting better as the season progressed. And she had some of the best runways of her season, so I'm very excited to see what she brings. She doesn't have a lot of time to evolve from anyone else because she was on season 6 that just aired earlier this year. You know, it's only 6 episodes. For somebody like Sami coming back that quick, it's easier to prepare just the 6 little episodes versus, a full-length All-Stars. Although now, on the U.S. All-Stars, they only have to prepare for the first bracket and then don't have to really prepare until they make it through or not. Finally, Tiffany Ann Co. The bodysuit, the boots, everything from the neck below. I freaking loved it. I loved how it was giving Sailor Moon vibes, but truly her own version of it. And to give a new version of a look like that, to make it feel new, is hard to do at this point. Shoulder piece was great. This wig mama. This wig, and specifically these green, what I only see as ears on each side of her head. If she didn't want those to look like giant ears on the side of her head, someone should have stopped her and said, okay, so if you don't want them to be ears, what is it that you're trying to make us feel we're looking at? Because it looks like crazy giant ears on the side of her head. It just was too much on top of too much. And it might be a specific reference. Like the little black part of the wig, like the little curls framing her face with the silver. Like if that was just it for the wig, that's actually kind of cute and totally matches the look. Everything else is great. It's just that wig is just Like, why would you want to look like you have 2 giant ears? Because the rest of her drag is not giving that. It's not giving, big old Dumbo the Clown. Dumbo, I guess, was an elephant. But she's Dumbo the Clown with this headpiece. Canada All-Stars is going to be dropping July 9th. So we have less than a month away. And I'm very excited for when the actual, season trailer comes out. We'll get to actually see some stuff that happens on the show. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Now it's time to take a look at our YouTube thanks. And up first is the Rainbow Sheep Shepherd. After Aurora claimed not to remember her points could go to someone in the top, I was inspired to go back and look to see how much All-Stars 10 had aired before each bracket filmed. Here's what they found out. Bracket 1 filmed after only seeing episodes 1 through 4. Bracket 2, which Aura was in Bracket 2, filmed after seeing episodes 1 through 6. So this is, after Mistress gave a point to Lydia, who was in the top. You get to see all different types of way the points are distributed with Mistress and Georges. Mistress and Georges. And then Bracket 3 filmed after seeing episodes 1 through 8. I feel like her true answer was what she said later on, where she was like, I was still upset about not making it through, The first merge episode was in the middle of filming when Ginger was crowned. Oh, wow, that's a lot of specific information. That also made me notice that we got this makeover episode with weirdly fair judging, as production has started seeing fans' reactions to All-Stars 10 Bracket 3 judging. Oh, you think that had an impact on it? That would be great, because I mean, makeover specifically is a kind of a problem on most seasons, notoriously. So it would be great if it was more fair across the board from now on. And I agree that the judging was very fair on this last makeover. We got another look challenge that we're going to cover in the next Mangle morning, so we'll talk about if that's fair. If that turned out fair. Also, big shout out to Julia coming through with the thanks as she does for us every week. Thank you, Julia. And then Shadow Candy said, "Girl, I'm so hungover and the trade has been trying me, so this Mangle morning is saving me right now. My unemployed bum self is still gonna tip the dolls like you that are doing the Lord's work, and I thank you. I encourage all other unemployed bums to tip the dolls their last few dollars, as it's the least we can do. Jokes aside, please pray I find a job soon. Been staying loyal since your comeback, Mera, and wish you all the best." That's so funny. That's so sweet, too. I love that. And you know what? I mean, when you pay it forward, it will work out. I have faith that you'll find something soon. And I appreciate you still paying the dolls, still trying to keep my channel chugging. A-chugging. We're not chugging anything. We're a-chugging, like the train. But this is a crazy train. It doesn't stop. Let me know what you think about the Canada All-Stars promos. Who are you most excited for? And let me know your thoughts on Stop That Train. Stop that train! No one ever said it like that in the movie, and that's kind of disappointing. I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see me.